In a major development in the Ujjain train blast probe, authorities have confirmed that the suspects who planted the bomb were indeed belonging to the ISIS. Reportedly, authorities have managed to get their hands on a photograph of the bomb that was sent by the terror suspects to their handlers in Syria using their phone. The officials found this image in the sent items folder of the mobile phones of the suspects arrested from Hoshangabad's Piparia. The suspects reached Bhopal via train, planted the bomb on board the Bhopal Ujjain train. As soon as they planted the bomb, they made a run for it, taking a bus from the station to Piparia. And the police immediately picked up these three suspects after finding crucial CCTV footage of the suspects at the Piparia toll plaza on board that bus. Let's go straight to our correspondent Hemendra Sharma, who's joining us from Rohania. Good morning to you, Hemendra. You're telling us something extremely crucial. The terror operatives sent an image from their phone to handlers based out of Syria. It has tremendous repercussions. Just tell us how the probe is proceeding ahead.
Yes, in fact, they did send this picture that they had clicked after planting this pipe bomb in this Bhopal Ujjain passenger train. But before planting this pipe bomb on this train, they deboarded the train. They in fact came from Lucknow to Bhopal by train, and this thing has been confirmed by the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. He has said that these people boarded a train from Lucknow, got down at Bhopal. In Bhopal, they boarded this Bhopal Ujjain passenger train, planted a bomb in that train, and thereafter got on from that train and boarded a bus for Piparia. They were nabbed at Piparia, and at Piparia, they were after they were arrested, a phone was seized from them, and from this phone, from the sent items, picture was retracted, and the police recovered this picture, and this picture was sent to Syria. And now it has been confirmed by top police sources in Madhya Pradesh that they were part of an ISIS module, and they were in regular touch with ISIS, and also they had sent this picture to their handlers in ISIS. Police are now saying that they are now trying to get to their other associates in Madhya Pradesh as well as in Uttar Pradesh. And also one thing that is coming out is that the 4 people who were staying in Thakurganj, one has been killed, that is Saifullah. The other 3 are the ones who have been arrested by the Madhya Pradesh ATS from Piparia.
All right, Hemendra Sharma, thank you for joining us with those details. The encounter between security forces and the ISIS suspect ended early this morning after nearly 12 hours of gunfight and negotiations. ISIS suspect Saifullah was killed in the encounter. According to the Uttar Pradesh Police's anti-terror squad, Saifullah kept on firing despite several warnings being issued to him. He is suspected to have links with the Khorasan network of the ISIS. Uttar Pradesh Police DGP Javed Ahmed has now reached the encounter site, even as combing operations are now underway. India Today has accessed exclusive pictures from the terrorist hideout in Lucknow's Thakurganj. The terror suspect Saifullah was heavily armed and also had with him an ISIS flag, more or less confirming his association with the dreaded terror organization. These exclusive visuals on air on India Today show to you the real face and just what was it that Saifullah had with him in that windowless house in Lucknow's Thakurganj area. Alright, as we try and connect to our reporters who are getting to us this exclusive image of all the material confiscated by the Uttar Pradesh anti-terror squad, and as you can see, there is a flag of the ISIS, that infamous black flag out there at the center. Apart from that, you can also see a lot of material which includes gums, which also includes ammunition, wires, different cords, newspapers and other material. All of this was recovered, and now, as we just told you, the Uttar Pradesh Police's top boss, the Director General of Police, is there right now, and the house is being searched. The area around the house is also being searched. because while Saifullah stands neutralized and 3 suspects were arrested from Piparia yesterday, the module, the entire group, is not as yet under the grip of the investigation and the law enforcement agencies. There are some members still at large and the hunt, as I said, is on. But this is the material right before you. What was confiscated from the residence, the windowless residence in fact, in Thakurganj in Lucknow, where we saw that encounter, raging encounter, peppered with negotiations and requests being made to surrender. This is the material which the police has now put together. It tells you the end stage of what started with that blast, then went on to Piparia, and then of course culminated in this encounter in Lucknow. Details of the terrorist who was killed in Lucknow still remain sketchy. Here is what, however, we know so far. Sources tell us Saifullah was a part of a busted Uttar Pradesh ISIS module. Heavily armed, he refused to surrender to the police despite repeated pleas. Saifullah was living as a tenant at the residence of one Badshah, who's reportedly now not in India but perhaps in Saudi Arabia. He was living in that residence in Thakurganj area since 2014. He was killed after a nearly 12-hour-long gunfight in Lucknow. The police believes that he is a resident of Uttar Pradesh, perhaps from Lucknow or Kanpur. The probe is still on to ascertain several details surrounding that killed terrorist Saifullah. Our correspondent Maushmi Singh, who had been tracking this encounter in Lucknow since the early hours of yesterday, is with us on the phone line. Maushmi, you were bringing to us the images of the recovery made by the police. Tell us more about just what all is it that the police has found apart from that very prominently displayed black ISIS flag.
That's right, Jugal. Clearly, the way the entire operation was executed, the information that the ATS had initially was that this terror suspect had links with the IS, and the ATS has been investigating the entire place. They had sanitized the place and were picking up all the pieces of proof in their investigation as evidences. In fact, a forensic team was called in to investigate in detail whatever equipments were found with Saifullah. And importantly, as we spoke to the ATS IG, he said that they would be putting all the pieces together and the investigation agencies would be connecting the dots as far as information about the IS is concerned. Importantly, Jugal, this IS network, this particular network is the Khurasam network, the Lucknow-Kanpur Khurasam network that has links with the IS in Syria, and clearly they were looking at indoctrinating youth, Indian youth in India. Maharashtra and Telangana had been their forte earlier, and they use social media as a tool of indoctrinating youth and trying to influence them. Remember that the Home Ministry had been holding several meetings with all states to actually chalk out a strategy. But this incident proves, Jugal, there's much to be done.
Maushmi, also, as we now show to our viewers the latest images, which include, there are some handwritten notes, there are some maps, also one of them depicting the political map of India, and there's also a railway map that we can see apart from several wires and cords and what seems to be pieces of ammunition. Can you talk us through these pictures, Maushmi, that you're bringing to us? What is it that these pictures actually tell you about that windowless house that you were reporting outside of, and just what are the contents that have been recovered by the UP ATS?
That's right, you can see the entire house. The fact of the matter is that this house was like an enclosed fortress, and you could not see through what's happening inside. Normally there would be a balcony in a house, but this ground floor house had no balcony. It just had a terrace top, and even the terrace top was not open. So clearly there was something suspicious that Saifullah and his other colleagues were up to, and the evidence that the ATS has got, the the substance that have been recovered, the map of India, the details about trains. These are important evidences that the investigation agencies would be looking at, because even the Kanpur terror attack, there were reports that it was being connected to the IS in Pakistan. So ISI in Pakistan. So the terrorists are now looking at public establishments, public transport to actually hinder internal security in India, and the IS, one of the...
All right, we will have to now leave it at that, Maushmi, while we will come back to you for more, but there is more news from the state of Uttar Pradesh.